I don't care what anyone says. 2018 was a fucking great year for anime. While 2019 has a reputation for also being a good year for anime, I see it more as a year comprising of big franchises either starting or continuing. And while 2018 wasn't devoid of that, many of the best shows that came out were short yet fantastic. It really says something when you can reflect on a year of anime and think, oh yeah, I suppose JoJo's Part 5 also came out. Almost forgot. Now, I feel that the reason I'm bigging this year up so much is because this is the first time I started really intensely watching seasonal anime. And in the exact season I started doing this, a show came out by the name of Violet Evergarden. I love this show. I love this show so much that it wasn't even my favourite of that season. As I said, 2018 was a stacked year. But I think that I have said everything that needs to be said about this series as well. There's one more thing I haven't said. Episode 7 is better than episode 10, fucking fight me. But I'm not here to talk about the series. Instead, I'm here to talk about the 2019 movie that serves as a side story to the main series, this being Violet Evergarden, Eternity and the Auto Memories Doll, or Violet Evergarden Gaiden for short.
I'm the foot fucking master.
Initially, this was planned to be 2 OVAs, but a decision was made to have it as a movie in 2 parts. And so, to honour the segmentation of the narrative, I've segmented this video. Press button to cue transition slide. Oh fuck, that was an instruction. The presentation is largely consistent with the 2018 series, so I'm just going to copy-paste a paragraph I wrote back when I was planning for this video to also cover the 2018 series. Kyoto Animation have a reputation for amazing-looking anime, a reputation that everyone is respectful of, especially after the horrific events that occurred last year. Basically, all of their series and movies look like $1 million, as indeed they may be. But Violet Evergarden looks like $1 billion. If you then took that $1 billion and sculpted it into a statue of one of my waifus. The character animation is just beautiful. From the wide sweeping actions such as dancing or running, to even smaller actions like simply using a typewriter or taking a bath. Bit of a disappointment compared to the light novel though. The animation works so well because of the astounding direction. But I'm not smart enough to try and explain what the direction is or why I like it. So instead, how about I talk about the backgrounds? The reason I consider Violet Evergarden as a whole to feel so beautiful, even in the sea of beauty that is KyoAni's filmography, is because not only the character animation is on fleek, but the setting allows for the backgrounds to be utterly breathtaking as well. From the cities, to the valleys, even the slums look bloody lovely. Now, the music is the same as the series, and I feel this is an orchestral OST done right, not being too overbearing, but essential when building atmosphere. If I do have any complaints, it would be that my favourite song of the OST, Never Coming Back, is misplaced in this film. This song is used to great effect in the original series, and so I've been Pavloved into a state of emotional distress whenever I hear the song start up.
Ah! Shit! Fuck me!
However, the moment they're using it in the movie is sentimental, but not necessarily worthy of that particular track. Now, I've mentioned this movie is made up of 2 parts, so for the second part of this video, I'll cover the first part of the movie. I've already buggered up the format. The first part focuses on Amy, a girl who attends an academy where girls learn how to become high society ladies. Violet comes into the story as a tutor, although she just ends up stealing her thunder more than anything. However, they gradually come to like each other, and Violet even says Amy is her first real friend. Now, this is a very touching moment, but I'd like to say a couple of things. Firstly, friends! Couldn't resist. Secondly, a bit of a middle finger to all the people she's already met. Unless Violet's emotional understanding now covers the ability to white lie. This half is carried by the relationship between Violet and Amy, with her gradually opening up about her past. I did think at some points they were going to introduce some jeopardy, especially with Isabella's coughing fits, I smelled a cowrie, but nothing really happens, which can be disappointing if you are wanting higher stakes. But I was fine with it since it meant I wasn't really relying on melodrama to get the plot to move forward. But the end of that part transitions nicely into the next part. The second part focuses on Taylor. This illiterate girl seeks out the postal company as the letter that she received from them once sent light into her life, and that leads her to staying with Violet as well as working with her and Benedict. What follows is a story of a girl going around a 20th century European looking coastal town while being part of a delivery service. But it's actually better than that one. Yeah, fucking said it. This is the best half of the film, in my opinion. with Violet and Benedict taking on mentor roles and with more of the world around them on display. Also, Taylor is just adorable, isn't she?
Postie Pat! Postie Pat! I didn't look at this tonight! Getting all the letters! Who can put the letters? Letters!
But the person who gets the most time to shine out of the original cast is Benedict, really coming into his own by taking a young girl across the country on a road trip. And in a surprise plot twist, he's not even old and bearded. However, for negatives, they repeat the postman's motto about a dozen times in a 5-minute window, so it does become a bit tedious to hear it over and over. Or at least it would have been, were it not for the fact I watched this on a train and the lady in the row behind me was editing together what sounded like a bunch of primary school children singing The Greatest by Sia, and so I got a wee bit distracted during the last few minutes, which is a shame because it's an extremely sweet second half nonetheless. Not to spoil anything, but the ending is a wee bit divisive, but ultimately the general consensus online is that it's justified. And I'd agree. Although I found this out from the Violet Evergarden subreddit, and after scrolling around on the subreddit, I found that they don't really take kindly to people who lewd Violet. And so, out of my respect for Reddit, let's have the fourth and final section of this video. As it turns out, despite a lovely amount of Violet Evergarden doujinshi, there's none actually based off the specific events for this film, so have you still got the picture of them in the bath? Perfect! That's gonna be the background for the credits.